Hey guys! Today I want to talk with you about the upcoming Warhammer Total War 3 factions before I've actually played them. So I am a small streamer, so I don't get a free copy, of course, just like you assume. And I basically consumed every Total War content I could find on YouTube, and I'm super excited. And as you can see in the background, Italian Spartacus is streaming in just 3 hours the first look on the Ogre Kingdoms. And therefore I will not rate or rank the Ogre Kingdoms because we literally don't know much about them yet, except the units which are available, but we don't know much about the game mechanics, about their stats. We know where they start, but not really, what's going on there. But I will give you now my thoughts to all the other factions and how I would rank them. So, let's start with the least favorite faction. My least favorite faction that's before I've even tried it out or played it, is actually Boris. The thing is, he doesn't, Costaltine and Catherine have their own unique mechanic where they fight for domination in Kislev, and Boris isn't really part of that mechanic. He doesn't really have his own unique mechanic, and he starts quite a bit outside of Kislev. Right now there are not many factions surrounding him, so it might be a bit boring in early game, even because normal NPC factions are usually not that strong, but I could be completely wrong. Later on, when there are more DLCs, maybe that will change because more other famous main factions could start near him, like the Chaos Dwarfs or so. So yeah, that's why I would rank Boris on lowest tier. Although he himself is a really strong lord, so there's nothing wrong about him. I like Kislev even, but I just think out of all the upcoming faction, he's probably my least favorite. Next, I would rank... the next one I would rank Enkari. That's basically number 9, right? The thing why I'm not a huge fan on first look of Nekari is because he starts here on the edge of the map. You can see I'm not sure what it's called, this part of the map, but it's basically it's basically like western, I think, although here it's north, but I think it's in reality it's in the western side, and he starts on the edge and he only can really expand towards one direction, right? So playing him once might be really fun, but playing him often, I don't know, it could be a bit repetitive because you always fight the same first factions. I kind of enjoy when I can expand into several different directions, which would have been amazing with Boris, like we rated him before, but still. I also don't like heavy micro-intense armies usually, and Enkari's faction is definitely strong, looks strong in the streams, but they're all like high speed, low armor, and I think for me that's too much micro-intense. But the campaign mechanics look really fun. I'm not a huge fan of diplomacy though, so probably I'll pass on it. I will play it once, but it will not be my main favorite. I just hope that Immortal Empires, all the Chaos factions, get placed maybe across the world and not all too close together. That would be amazing. On number 8 now, I rank Cougar. That's probably because I'm not a huge fan of Nurgle usually. He's quite the opposite of Slanesh, so instead of very fast units, he got like super slow units, but very tanky. Not so much damage from melee attackers, but like they're just like tanks, and they do slow damage, and they have some really good artillery, and I usually love artillery, so that would be fun. But their unique buildings, I mean, they cycle through them as far as I understood it. I'm not sure where he showcased it here. So basically, they start at level 1 and then they upgrade themselves up to the highest rank, and then they start from 0 again. And you don't really have full control about what units you can currently recruit, and I'm not such a huge fan of that much RNG, but I think the Legendary Lord himself, Cougar, could be really fun, and he has really strong abilities. I like that he's basically an artillery lord, and he has quite an interesting starting position, kind of middle in the map, and that's probably quite amazing. Next, I would rank the Demon Prince. So that's the Chaos Undivided faction, and I rank him on this place because I think he's quite interesting with the different items he gets to equip, like his body parts. Wait, where is it again? I don't know. Here. Yeah, I think that is really amazing that you can customize and build your own demon. But on the other hand, it seems like he's just like a mix of all the other Chaos factions, but not like super unique in his own way. He just seems to be like a little bit worse version than all of the legendary lords. That doesn't mean that he's weaker, so probably not. But his mechanics are just basically like weaker copies of the main faction. And I don't enjoy that so much, but I love his start. He starts in Northern territories, very close to Kislev. So I think, especially if you would play multiplayer, one friend might play Kislev, another one might play the Demon Prince. That could lead to some really interesting campaigns, and I can't wait to try that out. So I'm definitely looking forward to play him. On the next rank, it's rank 6 now, I place Miao Ying. Yeah, actually Miao Ying was the faction I was looking forward the most. For real, half a year I was looking forward for Miao Ying. I usually wasn't a huge fan at first of Cafe, but then seeing the first preview, the trailer where she was flying as dragon, and I was like super hyped. I was completely sold about that faction. And we don't see her start capital here, but it would be basically on the left side, because the map is basically like 90 degrees to the left. If north is basically where here is the right side of the screen, it's a bit confusing, I know. But what bothers me about her a little bit is, and that's what I heard from other people's stream, you can't really leave beyond the walls, of course, there are all the demons and you get so high attrition early game. And next to you is also, not too far away, is also the second cafe guy who kind of blocks you off, and so you always basically only have like one direction to expand. And one downside I heard is that there are not so many chaos armies trying to attack the walls. Like, I would love if there were events, like maybe every 20 turns or every 30 turns or whatever, I don't mind, waves of chaos forces attacking the wall. That would be so amazing, that you are like really feeling like the Cafe Empire trying to hold the endless hordes of chaos. And I heard that basically there is no attacks, at least in the first like 30-40 turns. So yeah, that makes me a little bit less excited for her. I think though that she's a really exciting hero, because she can still turn into a dragon, she can heal, she is a really good caster, she gets a vortex damage spell still, she's like really strong, I think. So I'm definitely looking forward to play her. Then next I'm going to play is Tsarina Catherine. She was my number 2. I was really looking forward for her. Probably as my main favorite faction, even after Miao Ying. And looking at it, I think she will definitely be in an amazing campaign, right? That's why she's rank 5 for me. And the one thing I don't like about her campaign is it looks a bit too easy. But like I said, I haven't played it, so it's just what I guess. She's the only Kislev faction lord that starts in a major city, which is like really important for the Kislev tech tree, right? So she starts in Kislev itself, and the other 2 cities are, I think, Ehrengrad and Prague, and you need these cities to get certain techs, and she basically starts there. And you have a lot of Empire factions south of you, and north of you there are like other Kislev factions. You have quite a safe campaign the first turns. So I think, without having played her yet, I think it might be a bit boring actually. Like, I enjoy it really to get like a super difficult start. I don't mind playing like really strong lords, that's cool, that's amazing, of course I want to play strong lords. Like Catherine definitely is like her, I think Heart of the Winter spell it's called, is like crazy strong. So I think especially versus AI this spell will devastate whole armies on itself. But I think her start might just be a bit too safe, so I'll try it out. maybe we can make an aggressive Catherine work as well. Next, I rank, and it's basically ex aequo with the next faction, so it's rank 3 and 4 basically is one rank, okay? Next faction I rank is Costaltine. Wait here. Yeah, to be absolutely honest, before I did inform myself about him, I would have ranked him lowest. Like, I was like, oh wait, we get a support guy. He has, wait, do we see his stats somewhere? Like, he has really low HP. Yeah, here we see. He has like 3800 HP. It's basically like caster HP. 80 leadership, 20 armor. Like, his melee attack with 6 is super high, and magic and fire, that's good. Melee defense 40, not too great either, and the damage is kinda low. So I thought like, oh boy, this guy is kinda useless in melee and he can't cast either. But, haha, now is the big but. He has some really amazing passive abilities. He gets some chants or so, I'm not sure how they are called. And he basically buffs all units around him. And especially when he is below 25% health, he gets like huge buffs and even becomes unbreakable for some time. And yeah, even gives AoE healing, and really, really good. But what sold me most for him actually is his campaign start. He starts in a minor settlement. It's called Castle Alexandrov. I can't find a map picture right now. Yeah, so he starts in a minor settlement, and that is very close to Chaos and Norscan lands. So he will get very early on a lot of attacks, and I enjoy difficult starts, and trying out the support lord might be quite fun for me actually, and especially once he has his warbear. He can get a warbear, by the way, yeah, so his stats become suddenly way better, same as Catherine, by the way. She also becomes quite a formidable fighter. And once he's on his bear, I think it could be a really fun and challenging campaign. I hope that's true, because not only you have to deal with Catherine, but also with like all the waves of chaos and demons, and you're the warden of Kislev, more or less. And that's something I'm looking forward to 100%. The next legendary lord on rank 3, ex aequo to Costaltine, is Scarbrand. Yeah, what can I say about Scarbrand? Before I informed myself about him, I would have ranked him kinda low, I'm gonna be honest. I love Warhammer, also tabletop and Warhammer 40k, and honestly, Khorne was always for me the boring guy. Like, blood for the blood god and all the bullshit, yeah, I don't know, never really struck me as much interesting, not really any magic to it, nothing, I don't know, it's just so bland. Seemed for me like this. But, looking at his faction, oh god, it looks so cool. Like, you can do basically what you enjoy the most, and that's fighting in this campaign. I love battles, of course, and with him you can destroy everything, and with his faction mechanics he gets even more armies, more units. Even destroyed settlements, raised settlements get rebuilt from his own faction automatically, passively. Then what else does he have? He doesn't have much range. I think there's like 2 units or so. One is artillery and one is like a hybrid melee range unit, and that's pretty much it with range, and I usually love range, but still I think trying him out and changing playstyle for him will be very interesting, and he himself is so good. If you look at his weapon, wait, maybe I can find it, let's see. I know. By the way, I'm on the videos of Italian Spartacus. He made spoiler-free overviews for all the factions. If you're interested, there he explains way more, way better what each faction can do. But you probably have seen the videos anyway, right? And oh, I clicked on the perfect timestamp. So he has his sword, and his sword has a passive ability where it gets up to 100% more damage depending on how many kills he made. So he basically like really this huge killing machine. He also has a passive regeneration ability, so it's like, oh, constant fight, you're in the middle of everything, and it's like a little bit less finesse including, but I think it will be an amazing campaign, and I'm really looking forward to it. And what makes him, for me, really interesting is he kind of starts closer to the center of the map, so you have all the directions to expand to. Not too far away is Slanesh, of course, or you can also expand towards the other Chaos Gods, so you have plenty of options. I enjoy that. That's why he is number 3 for me. So the final 2, you can already guess, there's not many missing. And number 2 is Zhao Ming. Wait, where is Zhao Ming? Zhao Ming! He is the Iron Dragon. There we go. To be honest, I didn't have him on my radar at all the last 6 months. I knew he was a lord, but I was way more excited for Miao Ying. Because, yeah, obviously, I prefer female lords over male lords sometimes. But, yeah, he proved me otherwise. And he proved that I'm now way more interested in him than most other lords. Because he is so strong. He's a strong melee lord. And he really starts close to the ogres. You have like huge bonuses towards the ogres with diplomatic relation, but I mean, just because you have huge bonuses towards them doesn't mean you have to be friends with them, right? So you can expand into the ogre lands, or you can try to unite Kislev. You have quite a safe start though, I think, because it starts kind of on the edge of the map. But if you want, of course, you could try to even expand to ogres or whatever. And I think his abilities synergize like really nicely. He buffs all the melee units a lot. He has very strong damage spells, like one of the strongest in the games. I'm not sure what the spell is called, but he has a spell. It's like a dragon breath that he can cast in his dragon form. He has a spell that does huge AoE damage similar to the Foot of Gork, and he also gets Mastery of Elemental Winds, which is a new passive. It's really amazing. Miao Ying has the same passive, by the way, and also Kairos. And basically for every other unit in the army that also has Mastery of the Elemental Winds, the spells do 15% more damage. So if you have like 3 units of this, they do like 45% more damage. So if you got 3 other units with this trait, holy fuck, it's crazy. And he's a super capable melee lord. The cafe faction in general look interesting, not too amazing. I'm not a huge fan of this yin yang and bullshit usually, but I think maybe it will be better than I expect. But I'm looking forward to him and can't wait to play him out. Try him out, yeah. And my number 1 faction, you might have guessed it already, is Kairos. Yeah, if you would have asked me who is my favorite, most looked forward lord 2 weeks ago, I would have never said Kairos, probably like on the lower end, 100%. My main reason for not liking him initially actually is because we have the bird guy in Warhammer Total War 2 already. He was, you know, the Chaos Lord, the Satorel, I forgot his name, Satorel, you know him, right? And I was like, oh no, it's another bird. And yeah, of course, everybody knows Kairos. He's like the champion of Tzeentch, more or less. But I don't know if that really excites me. But then I saw their faction mechanics. Holy fuck, I'm looking forward for those. So I'm not sure if I can find it here. Because he's showing them off somewhere. I think, yeah, here we are. So basically, with Kairos, or with the Tzeentch faction, you can manipulate other factions. You can even make transfer settlements, so give one settlement to another faction or to yourself even. Or he can open chaos gates, I guess, or is it, no, what is this open gate? I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just open gates of a settlement, so you don't have to siege it. I'm not really sure yet, but he got like a lot of abilities, and I'm not sure how good they are. Like I said, I haven't played any of the factions, but it makes me very curious to try them out. And what else I like about him is he starts really close to Kislev, but he also has like Nurgle not too far from him, and also the ogres, and like the whole center of the map, so you can expand to the north, to Kislev, you can expand to the south, you have a lot of different enemies, you have amazing magic, he's like probably the strongest caster lord in this game, and you can manipulate everyone, and I think especially in multiplayer I will look forward to play him and try to do some sneaky stuff and so on. And I think in multiplayer that would be amazing to play like, you know, the two opposing Chaos Lords, like one plays Tzeentch, the other one Nurgle, one plays Slanesh, the other one Khorne and so on. That could be really, really fun. And Tzeentch for me is definitely the faction I'm looking forward most, especially also because they're ranged focus. I love range. They don't have much melee troops though, so that's a bit of a downside. You have to be really careful, I heard. But overall, we will know in 3 days what exactly we get. So for the end of the videos, I can not wait to watch the Ogre Kingdoms campaign preview with Italian Spartacus in 3 hours. So if you're interested, join me in as well. And if not, if nothing crazy happens, we see each other in 3 days when Warhammer Total War 3 gets released, and I will definitely stream the game for you, maybe even multiplayer it with you. Let's see if we find some friends who want to join in or so, or maybe someone of you even wants to join in for a full campaign, which is like a few hours. It's quite difficult to find people. Anyway, take care and bye bye.